Okay, everybody, this is the third of three videos that I'm going to record for the Adwords. What we're going to do is take a look through a manager's lens, how to look at these AdWords statistics to try to improve upon some of the work that your AdWords specialist might be doing. So we made some intentional mistakes here, and then actually one or two unintentional mistakes, which I will show you. And we're going to just probably look at 4 or 5 of the main things. I don't want to overwhelm you with a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to hit 4 or 5 main things as a manager you should be looking for. And let's start with let's take a look at the keywords tab first. So this is probably the most important thing that we can kind of look at here. So if we go, so let me break this back up by our groups over here. So we had a broad keyword group and an exact match keyword group. So this was very, very broad. I paused it just because I got enough data. It's not a group that I would typically run. So if I go just into this broad keyword group, this is the keyword I was bidding on, just hair extensions. So because it's broad, Google will show it for a lot of different things. So in order to see everything that it's coming up for, we are going to click on our search terms. And here we are going to see that there is a lot of junk words in here. So the first thing I noticed when I came here is all these different cities, and that was a little confusing to me. So what I realized that I did, I actually made a mistake. I tried to set this to the radius geo-targeting, which you saw from my earlier video, but I guess I forgot to save it because this was showing in the entire country, which is a big waste of money. Luckily, this is only for a certain amount of time that this happened until I caught it. But you can see just a lot of junk coming in from all those. So besides all the different cities, if we go through these little by little, so what I'm looking for as a manager or somebody that's just managing the account is, are these keywords that people are searching for where they're ready to book an appointment for hair extensions? So we see here eyelash extensions. Since it's a broad match, Google figured eyelash would be just as good as hair extensions. So this right here is not a good keyword at all. It's a huge waste of money. So one thing I could do is just kind of add that as a negative keyword, and instead of exact matching it, I don't want any form of eyelashes to come up, so I am going to make eyelash a negative keyword at the campaign level. Anytime anybody does anything with eyelash, I do not want it to show up in my account in the future. So pretty much I'm going to go through just like this, not relevant, not relevant, not relevant. So different types of extensions it could be, but they're still in a pretty exploratory stage. Doesn't mean it's a bad lead, but great legs extensions, a little better. Clips, something like that, definitely have nothing to do with clips. So we're going to add that to the negative keyword list as well. And I am just going to do that, campaign level, negative keyword. So what we're noticing here is that our broad match keyword, just a ton of junk was coming up. So I've been on a lot of high value keywords, so I very rarely go with the broad. So let's go back to the ad groups page to kind of see this a little bit more. So if we look over here at the broad match, a lot easier to spend money than with the exact match. So you're gonna get a lot more clicks and a lot more action with your broad keywords, but you're gonna get better action over here. So the click-through rate's a lot higher with my exact match keywords. My cost per click's a little bit lower, and let's see what else we have here. I don't have conversion tracking set up, but my conversion tracking would be a lot higher. So we'll talk about some of this other stuff in a second, but let's do the same thing with this little bit more targeted keywords here, and let's go to the search terms as well to see if we had some better searches. So besides the Chicago thing here, that was just a geo-targeting error, which I found fairly early on. But I only ran this for a day, maybe a day and a half, and you can see a lot less clicks, but you can see these keywords are a lot better. So best salon for hair extensions near me. So I think I said that exact thing in my previous video, that is something that could come up. So all these keywords, somebody looking for cost is pretty close in their buying process. Hair extension salon, somebody wants hair extensions and they are looking for a salon. So 2 clicks on that. And actually, like, within 10 minutes of launching this, we already had 1 lead come in. So I haven't asked my sister how many phone calls she got, but definitely saw a hair extension come in pretty quick with this. So that was kind of fun to see. So essentially, number one, first thing you want to look at as a manager, and a lot of businesses don't think to look at this, is the actual search terms. It's super important. You want the stuff that people are searching for to convert. So first thing I'm always looking for when I audit somebody's account who's losing money is I go to search term, and I almost always find junk stuff in there. So next thing we are going to look at is kind of what's going on with our keywords. So I ran this for a day, and we are seeing that we have some kind of errors in red hair. So I am going to actually put a little bit more information up here. So I'm going to pause this for a second, and I'm going to add some better information for us, and I'll be right back with that. So real quick, I haven't added these yet. I just wanted to show you how we can get a little bit better information over here. So this is probably stuff that you're going to want to know. So I'm just going to click on this modify columns button, and then over here I can add some stuff that I want to see that's going to give me some good information. So I want to see the average position where my ads are showing up. For conversions, I definitely want to see conversions, cost per conversion probably, but I didn't set up conversion tracking, so there's not much I can do with it, but I'm going to put it in there anyway just so I can show you where it is. And then the last thing I am going to look for here is the quality score. So there's my quality score down there. So I'm going to put that in because quality score is very, very, very important. So, and then what I'm going to do is to kind of move all these up a little bit just because these are important to me. So let me do that and apply this. And now I have some decent data on what I am looking for, and this is going to tell us a lot of things as a manager. So first off, below the first bid page score, that means this is either showing, so it's probably most of the time only showing 3 of the paid ads there. You can see my average position is 3.7 while bidding $1. So if this is a good keyword, which I would know if I had conversion tracking, then I would up this to get onto a first page bid. I'd probably take this up to $2, maybe $2.50, and I would do that for all of these. The next thing I'm going to be looking for, so I'm going to be adjusting these just kind of based on what happens with this. So you can get the quality score just by hovering over these, but so you can see quality score there. So, and then let me actually just go in ahead and edit these two, since this one's actually still running. I'm just gonna throw $2 on these ones and see what this does. Alright, so everything's back up to eligible. So now I'm going to let this run for a little bit and come back and check all this again. So I have enough information to get the quality score for these. So quality score is very, very important. We didn't do a ton of stuff with optimization, optimizing for the quality score, but we are running very relevant ads to a very relevant page. So the quality score is going to have a lot of factors that go into it. So if somebody's searching for hair extensions, then Google wants to see that hair extension is in the ad you're running. They want to see it's in the URL of the page you're sending it to. They want to see that the images of your page have an alt tag with hair extensions. They want hair extensions in the text 4, 5, 6 times, so they know that they're serving up very relevant results. So for quality score, I'm generally happy with a 6 or above, but ideally, especially if it's a high value keyword, you have to work to optimize your quality score up to a 9 or a 10. So sometimes it can be finicky to get it up. You can do everything right and you'll still be stuck at a 7, and it's kind of hard to figure out why. But if the cost for one sale is $5,000, then you need to be in here with very specific ad groups with super high quality scores, and it should just be very, very important. If you're not doing this, then the person who is managing your account, you need to tell them to get the quality score up. So there's also, let's see, so conversions is important. So we could take a look at this. Generally it might take a little more data, maybe like a week. And if we see there's 16 clicks here and no conversions, then something is wrong with something. So it could be your ad, it could be your page, it could be your product, but you want to figure out why you aren't converting. So, and then you also want to see the ones that are converting a lot and put a lot of time and money into that. If you get a keyword that's just killing it, make it its own ad group. Single word ad group is fine. We do that a lot of the time, just because what's making you the most money, you want to put most of your resources into. So a lot of good information for there on this page. So what's the last thing I was going to show you? Let me find it here. So ad position is that's going to be that. So this is the average position your ad is showing. So we saw that 3.7 was a little low, so we manually bumped it up to the first page. I didn't get an error message for here, but it's at 2.6, and if I don't want to be in it's showing up somewhere between 2 and 3. If I don't want to be in that position, if I want to be number 1, then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to up this again to kind of get my ad position up. So a couple basic simple stats that you should be looking for as a manager. So we can next, so I've showed you 2 things so far. This is number 3. You want to go back to the ads and take a look at the ads that are that are running here. Also, you want to take a look at the percentage of times that it's shown, and then how many clicks you're getting, and then the average cost per click for the ad. So some ads might be performing better than others, and if that's the case, then you want to get rid of your low performing ads and start writing new ones. So you should always have at least 3 ads per keyword, and if you find underperforming ads, then you should delete them and write new ads and try to find the ad that's going to work the best. So writing ads is something you should be constantly working on as well. Extensions are super, super important. We're just using the call extension for now. I'm not getting too into that. We're trying to give you guys the basic tools here. So that's 3 things. So if I were to show you one more super important thing as a manager for AdWords, is this right here, the change history. So if you hire a company or a person to manage your AdWords, you want to make sure that they're actually working on your account, and they're working on your account every day. A lot of times AdWords companies will come in and they'll set it up, and you might be getting some conversions, and that's great, but how do you know you can't be getting more conversions with an optimized account? You're paying somebody to manage your account, and managing your account isn't setting it up one time. So you want to always ask them to see the change history, because you want to see the number of changes they're making. You want to see the types of changes they're making. You want to see that they're active in this account. They should be in here almost every day. I mean, the first week they should be in here 10 times a day. You should be waiting for your first impression. You should be going through a little bit, you should be waiting for everything. When I set up an account, it takes up a whole screen for the entire day, and I'm just hitting refresh all day long and seeing what's happening. I'm checking the search terms as soon as they're coming up, and just making sure there's no mistakes. So this right here, change history as a manager, is just going to be really, really, really important for you, and you can go through and kind of see the changes that were made. So you can see here, I expanded a text ad, created it.
So pretty much all my setup stuff here, but anything I was changing with the keywords is going to show up in here also. The ones that I moved for the negatives will be up here eventually also. So that is pretty much that. Let me just see if I can think of anything else. So one more thing I'll point out really quick is you want to kind of check your notifications up here also. It'll kind of give you hints and tips about your AdWords account. Generally, if it suggests changes, I always ignore it because they're usually not that great. But here it's telling me I got that $75 that for the coupon code, so I spent 50-ish, maybe a little bit more, and they gave me $75 to 75 extra to use. So nice little message there. So those are my biggest tips for you on how to take a look at an AdWords account. Very basic stuff, but those 4 things are really going to help you to stay on top of anybody who's running an account for you. So any questions about any of this, feel free to message me on Slack or send me an email.